For most of us, hosting a neighbor is easy. They're familiar faces, they live right next door, and they don't overstay at parties. Not for India, I'm afraid. Hosting neighbors is a tough task for New Delhi, and this week is a big party. The SCO defense ministers will be meeting on the 27th and 28th of April. SCO is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and India is the SCO chair this year. It's always been an awkward platform or forum for India. On the one hand, the SCO is headquartered in China. It even bears the name of a Chinese city, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. At the same time, it's become India's window to Eurasia, and we'll discuss that later. First, let's focus on our neighbors. China's defense minister will be attending the meeting. General Li Shangfu will also hold talks with India's defense minister Rajnath Singh, and that bilateral is scheduled for Thursday. It's important for a number of reasons. Number one, the defense ministers have not held talks since the Galwan clashes, so it's been 3 years. The foreign ministers have met multiple times, but the defense ministers have not. And reason number two why this is important. The background of this meeting. It follows the 18th round of Corps Commander talks between India and China. These talks started after the Galwan clashes in 2020. There has been some breakthrough, but complete disengagement has not been achieved. Interestingly, there was no joint statement after the 18th round. India released its own statement. China released their own. Both sides called the talks frank, candid, and open. Nice adjectives, but in the end, there was no breakthrough. The solution in Ladakh can only be political. So the question is, how serious are the Chinese? Do they want a solution, or do they want to keep the border alive? There have been some encouraging signs recently. Like the Global Buddhist Summit last week, the Dalai Lama attended the event in New Delhi. We told you about it. He even made a speech. But there wasn't the usual outrage from Beijing. The state media blew a fuse. But the Chinese government did not say very much about this event. Does that signify political rationalism? Honestly, it's hard to say. But as always, the expectations are at rock bottom. Next, let's talk about our other hostile neighbor, Pakistan. Their defense minister will not be traveling to New Delhi. Instead, he will join virtually. Now, quick side note, there is an SCO Foreign Ministers Summit happening next week. And for that, Pakistan is coming. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari will be flying down to Goa. And the obvious question is this: will he hold bilateral talks with S. Jaishankar, India's foreign minister? From all accounts, no. Jaishankar was asked about this possibility on Wednesday, and he said terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. Listen to this.
It is for us very difficult to engage with a neighbor who practices cross-border terrorism against us. We have always said that they have to deliver on their commitment not to encourage, sponsor, and carry out cross-border terrorism. We continue to hope that one day we would reach that stage.
So the message from New Delhi is quite clear. Stop sponsoring terrorism, then we can sit down for talks. But Pakistan isn't showing any willingness. Just last week, there was a terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch. 5 soldiers were killed. Intelligence agencies have not ruled out a Pakistani hand. Such incidents make engagement impossible. You cannot sponsor terrorism and hold talks simultaneously. So what should we make of Bhutto's visit? He himself downplayed it on Pakistani television. Bhutto said, "Don't look at this as a bilateral visit. It's part of the SCO charter, hence I'm going." I know I said expectations from China are rock bottom, but from Pakistan, it's even below that. And that's the problem for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. You see, the SCO hopes to create a strong regional order, a Eurasian order. But the internal dynamics are problematic. New Delhi and Islamabad have problems. New Delhi and Beijing have problems. Earlier, Russia was the calming influence that kept India interested, but after Ukraine, this isn't the same Russia. So India's broader engagement in the SCO will have to be re-evaluated. Yes, it's a bridge to Central Asia. Yes, it can create a Eurasian order, but only if it remains firmly multilateral, not if it becomes China plus.